let me just give a brief introduction about myself. I am a graduate in fashion designing, BSc Fashion Technology basically from ETU, YWCA. I did 1 year postgraduate certification in fashion retail management. I have been in facilitation from past about 4 years, and the topic that was given to me today was retail management. I just usually I prefer sessions to be more interactive. I hope if you don't mind, I ask you a few questions. Yeah, maybe we can make it a little more interesting. Okay. Before going ahead, I would just want to know and take a feel of the personal perspective of yours, whether you guys believe more in the mom and pop Kiryana stores, the neighborhood convenience stores, or more into the hypermarkets, departmental stores, like for example Big Bazaar, Pantaloons, maybe Lifestyle, Reliance Fresh. Just for a short starting.
Depends actually.
Depends.
Yeah.
After the Modi.
Yeah, because we are working ladies, okay?
Yes. Of
That's
course.
why.
Yes, of course. And after the Modi's change in currency as well, now
Yeah.
I am actually wondering that it's time to do a new survey for this thing. That what is easy for us now after this change in currency is the card that we are holding, because we are salaried people. And
That's just a temporary phase. That's not something permanent that you'll have to conduct yourself.
Yes, of course.
That's just a temporary phase.
But at least for the temporary phase, I think the perspective would change. So being a part of this industry, I think there is a much required importance of the organized sector to come up, because the organized sector percentage is very less into retail. So let me just introduce you about the topic that I would be talking about. I would give an overview about retail management, the retail scenario that goes global and India, the organized and unorganized retail, evolution of the Indian retail, need of the retail management, retail strategies, retail mix, and the increasing opportunities that retail sector has, the points to consider, and the major challenges that they have. Let me give you a brief introduction about retailing. This definition has been given about Philip Scottler. This is given by Philip Scottler. The activities involved in the marketing of goods and services that actually pushes the product or the merchandise directly to the customer, or the consumer, the ultimate consumer. The consumer feels satisfied and can retain to the retailer. Let's talk about basic terms of retailing. The word retail is been coming from the word retailer. That means to cut off or to break the bulk. Major production houses produce a product. They sell it to wholesalers in bulk. Wholesalers sell those product or the merchandise or the bulk that they are holding into fewer portions to retailers, and these retailers directly sell it to customers in fewer quantities. Basically, retailer is a business or a person that sells goods to the consumer as opposed to the wholesaler. Retailing is the final stage in the movement of goods or services to the consumer. Retail management, the main topic for today, retail management. It involves activities which help customers to procure the desired merchandise or product from the retail store for their end users. This all includes the final steps of bringing the customer into the store and fulfilling their needs and wants. What is important here is fulfilling the desired need and want of the customer and bringing the customer back to the retail store. Let's have a look about retail, the industry. It's the largest private industry in the world. The Western economy accounts for 8% of the GDP. Whereas India has about 14 to right now it's 14, some about 12 to 14% of the total GDP. Banks are holding 9%, insurance holds 15.2%. The world over, retail is not only the oldest but also one of the most advanced users of the technology. Largest corporation is, of course, Walmart. Let's talk about organized and unorganized retail. Organized retail is basically where the retailers are more organized in a way that they are licensed, they pay their taxes, they have TIN numbers, they are registered, Unorganized are the ones that lacks technical and accounting standards. For example, just to be a little more flexible, pawn shops, convenience stores, hand carts, payment vendors, they all contribute to unorganized retail, which is about 98% of the Indian retail sector. Organized retails are basically supermarkets and corporate-backed hypermarkets. Let's have a look at the data, the global data. The US holds the maximum number of the organized retail sector, whereas India has only 8%. Or some data also show 2%. The retail scenario in India. We've already discussed this. The unorganized is 92%, 14% of the GDP. It has employed 7% of the workforce. It is fragmented, and there is a forced employment sector. There has been evolution in Indian retail. Let's go back to the history. These weekly markets, village fairs, melas were precisely the source of entertainment. And then we had an evolution with the convenience stores, mom and pop kiryanas that we find in our neighborhood stores. That is more basically the traditional way of the retail that exists now also and holds the most maximum part of it. We also have khadi stores, corporates that are government supported. And now the modern format comes is the exclusive brand outlets, hypermarket, supermarket and departmental store that gives experience, service along with the product. The emerging trend from retail sector. Corporates are increasingly coming into the sectors. More and more corporates are investing. We also have a major portion of FDI coming to India. Demand of branded goods on a large scale. Demand of new and variety of products. High quality product is preferred, of course, with the change in the lifestyle. We all prefer high quality products. There are variety of window displays that attract us the most. E-tailers increase the presence. Amazon, Myntra. What are these? These are e-retailers. Let's talk about some factors that affect the growth in India. Changing lifestyle and consumer behavior. Due to increase in the disposable income nowadays, people spend more on their leisure times and they spend more on increasing their quality of life. So they spend more on an organized retail formats. Increased number of dual income of nuclear families nowadays because of more of working women. You know, a family has, if they have two sources of income, they combine and try to spend more on their lifestyle. Experimentation with the new formats. There are many examples of the formats that earlier were in an unorganized form and are now being converted to organized business models. Visually attraction. From past 4 to 5 years, this particular thing, visually attracting the customers, is immensing now. And because of this, visual merchandiser as a core, career is coming out, is popping out. Big retailers. We have Pantaloons, Reliance, Bharti Retail, Lifestyle as big Indian retailers, and globally we have Walmart, Tesco, Carrefour. Let me just give you a brief about retail formats. More or less, we are known about this, but still, just to give a brief. Mom and pop stores, the ones that are, not so organized, and they're run by individuals. Department stores, which have large stores offering in huge assortments. Discount stores that have variety of products and also gives good huge discounts. Then we have supermarkets which are self-service stores and consist mainly of grocery limited products. Vending machines, which are nowadays a new trend. These are automatic machines where we can pop in money and help ourselves. Big Indian retailers. I have some few names from the big Indian retailers. For hypermarket, Big Bazaar, Reliance Fresh, Spar hypermarkets are leading. Department stores, we have Lifestyle, Pantaloons, Shopper Stop. For entertainment, we have PVR, Inox, Pan Republic, all such big retailers. Now, a very big question comes that why do we need retail management? Retail management is all about how we manage all the activities that integrates towards pushing the right product to the customer. What does right product means? What the customer actually wants. Now, from past few years, it is not what I as a producer wants to make. I have to include the customer interest also in making something what they want to buy. So basically, selling them what they want, fulfilling their needs and wants, earning profit by what I sell, and also I need to retain the customer so that they comes back to my particular store and be a regular customer. For my business to sustain, retail management basically saves our time. It ensures the customer to locate their needs, the desired merchandise. It satisfies the customer in a whole, and also retaining the customer. There are few retail strategies that I would be talking about which are very important for retail management. The first strategy goes as situation analyze, where we analyze the situation, we know the vision and mission. Objectives, we identify customer and its needs and wants, the overall activities and control. Let's talk about situation analysis. We have vision, where we have ideology. Why are we doing this, or why are we entering into this particular field? Future, where we want to go, and thus a vision helps us to know the actual mission. Once we know why are we exist and why are we aspiring to achieve, we can have the mission. We have target customers, we have the value that we intend to offer. It can be our product, it can be our services also. The objectives, our main objective for retail is sales, profit, customer satisfaction, retaining the customer, and building a good image about my brand. Let's identify the customer and its needs and wants. We need demographics. Who is our customer? Gender, age, the stage of life, the education they acquire, occupation in which they are. The geographic, where are they located? Rural, urban, or which number of tier of the city are they in? Tier 1, tier 2. Number of potential customers. The behavior, activities. What do they buy? How do they buy? How much money are they spending? When are they coming back regularly to you? Or when are they buying? Psychographic, the type of lifestyle, the hobbies, vacation, activities they are taking through, the type of personality they have, and also whether it is mass, concentrated, or differentiated. These are type of customers that we can have. Overall activities consist of daily operations, short-term operations. It can be controllable factors as well as it can be uncontrollable factors. Every business needs a control. So necessarily we need to take a feedback. We need to evaluate on certain points, and then we need to take actions to control that. Let's talk about retail mix. That is all about the activities about managing a store and also managing the merchandise. These are two separate formats when we need to manage a retail store or a complete retail format. Managing the merchandise, it has to be a right product. It has to be a right promotion. At a right place, it should be available at the right place. The availability of the store as well as the availability of the product should be at the right place. Merchandise should be at the right price that should suit the pocket of the customer. The presentation of the merchandise should be good enough to attract the customers. And personal, how do they respond to your merchandise? Let's talk about managing the store's exteriors. The front side of the building, the location where they are located. Window displays comes in exteriors. Interiors, maybe the signage, the walls, the fixtures, the lightings that we have in the store. Store layout, how you have categorized your different category of merchandise or product. Visual merchandising, how you are visually. There can be two things basically. How you are visually communicating your brand, as well as how you're visually communicating the whole retail store, the outlook of a retail store. These are some influencing factors on the retail management as a whole, social factors, consumer behavior, as we had talked about.
Jasmine, can we just stop here?
Sure, no problem.
We'll just go back to the previous slide.
Sure. Which one?
Yeah, the next slide. Next slide. Next slide.
You want to see the
The managing the store. Yeah.
Yes.
When you're talking about the 4 things you talked about, how to manage a store.
Yeah.
But then, what are the elements of visual merchandising? Can you tell me?
Elements of visual merchandising, as I said, there can be 2. How I want to visually communicate about my brand, or how I want to communicate about my store. If I want to visually,
It's one of the same thing. The brands are communicated the same way throughout, right?
yes, throughout, it can be through logos, through banners, and has to be through the visual identity that I follow. It has to be similar. That is something what the retail store has to offer. The second thing comes with the fixtures, the lightings. Visual merchandising also, if you go, in a broadened way, it also consists of the interiors and exteriors of the store.
Not the broader way. All these 3 are the elements of visual merchandising only. So I just could not understand the diagram basically.
Okay.
Because so exterior, interior layout, and then interior display. All these 4 are the parts of visual merchandising itself.
It is. Agree.
So the 3 parts, other than the visual merchandising, now how will you justify this particular thing?
Managing the store, we also have personals. We also have people who are working there. Who should
Suppose
be-
we're talking about exteriors, why have you? No, I just want to understand, as in when we have put exteriors, interior store, and then visual merchandising. Again, for me, visual merchandising means all those 3 things.
Because I was just trying to talk a little more about the brand image and brand communication also in this. So the main reason that I mentioned 2 of it separately was this. Yes, I agree, all these things are a part of visual merchandising.
Will you just go back to the previous?
Go back. Where do you want to
Yeah, the
start?
retail strategies, what the slide is all about. Can you just explain once again?
This slide is all about how we can group all these activities together to have an effective retail management.
What is the difference between objectives and mission?
The objectives basically, if I just go to here, my mission was the target customer and the value that I want to add to the customer with the service and with the product and the target customer that I am looking for. And over here, I just talked about the sales profits, the ultimate mission into the numeric terms. Over
No, I'm
here,
really talking about the difference between the objectives and the mission.
the ultimate objective that we have for a brand or for a strategy or for any retail company is of course making profit. But nowadays, because
The objectives and missions are set by the brand, and that's basically what the top management does, right? I'm just generally asking, what do you understand by the term objective, and what do you understand by the term mission? And is there any difference, or both of them are same?
precisely both of them are same, but precisely if we really want to differentiate it in terms of qualitative and quantitative, we can. This is my own perception.
How could you define objectives and these things, mission quantitatively?
Just the way I have put it here. Sales, we'll have numeric. Quantity, profits will be numeric. Customer satisfaction, retaining the customer will be as per the quality. We will not
Similarly, if we
numeric.
talk about mission, then
Sorry? If we talk about mission,
then
mission has to know about the customers. Because here we were
will
talking
that be
about,
qualitative or quantitative?
this will completely be qualitative.
The mission can
Somewhere it will be quantitative when we will talk
when
about,
both
I'm
of
so sorry,
when
when we
both of
talk
them
about
are
when we'll talk about demographics, we'll talk about psychographics, behaviors, it will become quantitative as well.
then both of them are qualitative and quantitative in nature. So that's
Yes,
not
both of them
that's not obviously different.
Yes, both of them are.
Right,
I
but-
was just wanted to keep it a little separate for a better understanding.
What all subjects you were taking in the previous college, in the college wherever you were teaching?
I'm teaching right now in Raffles Millennium. Currently, I'm taking pattern making, pattern routing, garment construction. We have 3 semester 3 months semester. So precisely the subjects changes. Right now I am into garment construction and drafting 1. Usually I also take textiles, CAT, fashion marketing, pattern drafting, pattern breaking.
So you're comfortable with pattern making and
Yes,
garment
yes, of
construction.
course.
Alright.
I have my portfolio if you guys want to have a look at it.
No, that's okay. And for CAD, what all softwares you develop with?
Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator and CorelDRAW.
And what is the course curriculum like for the Core and Draw and all for the fashion students there?
It depends if it's for the beginners level or if it says the CAD 1, then the base for
How the CAD is related to the fashion thing actually?
you make fashion illustrations and you make mood boards.
Flat sketches and all?
Yes, that becomes a part of technical drawings.
Yeah, but then are you like okay
Yes,
with
I am
that?
comfortable.
Alright, thank you.